Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Innal hamdalillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters and friends. I converted to Islam around 12 years ago. This October is going to be 12 years. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And I'm reflecting on when I converted to Islam, and I remember in the first few weeks it was almost bliss. If I could describe it, it's like taking my soul and dipping it in some kind of heavenly water. It didn't last long. And unfortunately, the reason it didn't last long was because I had all of this information. How to pray. I knew how to pray before I became Muslim. I knew some aspects of the life of the Prophet ﷺ, some verses of Quran. I could prove God's existence. I could prove the miracle of the Quran. All of this intellectual gymnastics. And after that kind of what I would call a spiritual honeymoon period, it was very depressing. And I felt lonely. And it was a type of loneliness that's not like, oh, I don't have any friends, because I had family and friends, but it's the worst type of loneliness. No matter who's around you, you still feel alone. And the reason I felt that loneliness was because I had all of this information, but it was here. And it never internalized here. It wasn't in my heart. It wasn't the type of knowledge, as Imam Malik, may Allah have mercy on him, said, which is knowledge is not just memorization and knowing, but rather it's that nur, it's that light that Allah puts in your heart, it's that being. And I always had the complaint, and I was speaking to brothers that I knew, and I said to them, brother, how do I take what I know to change how I am? How do I take all that information and change my very spiritual and emotional and psychological being? I knew there was a disconnect. I knew there was almost this kind of psychological hypocrisy, and it was the most loneliest place that anyone could be in. At the end, I got help. Obviously, I met some amazing scholars and students of knowledge, but it took a long time. And since I'm trying to empathize with the new Muslims, I don't want them to have the same troubles, the same type of loneliness. I want them to, when they learn something, they internalize it and it becomes them. They're not just walking Muslim robots. They're not just human doings. They're actually human beings. This is where MuslimNow comes in. MuslimNow is an area of work within the Islamic Education and Research Academy that focuses on empowering new Muslims. Brothers and sisters and friends, I want to be frank with you. We don't want our beloved brothers and sisters to end up being like me in the beginning. Being very happy for the first few weeks, then after being in the depths of that kind of spiritual loneliness. They don't know how to take that knowledge and somehow for it to filter down into their hearts so they can actually feel and be and appreciate what it means to peacefully submit themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, this is where you come in to support this area of work, brothers and sisters. MuslimNow has delivered over 2,000 new Muslim welcome packs. It has delivered over 15 NRGs, which are now ready to grow, which are courses to empower the Muslim community, to empower the new Muslim community. Also, brothers and sisters, we've delivered over 6 retreats and 7 step-by-steps, which is another course, and many monthly and weekly webinars. And it's all to empower new Muslims, brothers and sisters and friends. So from this perspective, in this amazing blessed month of Dhul Hijjah, in these 10 blessed days in this month, where the Prophet ﷺ has told us that these days, doing deeds in these days is greater than any other. When you're praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you're in sajda, make dua to Allah and say, Ya Allah, all of the new Muslims that have been guided by your will and mercy, please preserve them. Allow them to gain knowledge, but that knowledge to be filtered into their hearts, to be internalized within their own spiritual being so they become true Muslims, so we become a beacon of light for the rest of the community. And once you've made dua, also do the action. Go deep into your pockets and donate now generously. We need money to print many more new Muslim welcome packs. We need money for the courses, and we need your support for all of the webinars and the other courses that we deliver to empower new Muslims. So this blessed 10 days in Dhul Hijjah, where the Prophet ﷺ said that to do a deed in this day is more rewardable than any other days. So donate now. Help your new Muslims, your brothers and sisters in the religion of Islam, and donate now generously.
Hello, is anybody out there? Can you hear me calling, calling, calling? Can you hear me calling, calling, calling? Can you hear me? Hello, is anybody out there? Can you hear me calling, calling, calling? Can you hear me calling, calling, calling? I wanna be in Jannah, Jannah, yeah.